Gentleman yields to the...
This side of the aisle believes the passage of the Farm Bill is very, very important. It's important for our agricultural interests, for our farmers. We believe it's very important for those who are relying on nutritional programs and support from us. So we share the view and strongly in favor of the view of passing a Farm Bill. Number one, tell my friend. Secondly, I would tell the gentleman, as he well knows, the Farm Bill for the past 2 years has passed out of the committee with a majority of Democrats and I think maybe unanimous, but certainly the overwhelming majority of Republicans. It passed out last year as a bipartisan bill. It was not brought to the floor. It was not brought to the floor, as the gentleman recalls, because of the controversies on your side, not our side of the aisle. Mr. Peterson, to whom the gentleman referred, the chairman of the committee, was in support of the Farm Bill. In fact, had indicated he thought that there would be sufficient Democrats with Republicans to pass the Farm Bill. Very frankly, as the gentleman articulated, you lost 62 votes on your side of the aisle, notwithstanding the fact that you adopted 3 amendments during the course of consideration of the Farm Bill that Mr. Peterson advised you would undercut his ability and the Democrats' ability to support the bill. Very frankly, I tell my friend that what has happened, the Farm Bill was a bipartisan bill supported by a majority of Democrats in the committee, as the gentleman knows, and by the ranking Democrat, Mr. Peterson. It came to the floor, however, and that partisanship was undermined by the amendments that were adopted. And I think that was to the knowledge of certainly of Mr. Lucas. I know Mr. Lucas knew that that was undermining it. We now find ourselves in a position, and I understand what the gentleman has said trying to get to conference, where there was little or no discussion, certainly not with me, not with Leader Pelosi, about how we could move forward in creating a greater bipartisan coalition, with clearly recognizing there was opposition in your party and opposition in our party. So that the way that this could have passed in a constructive way, in my view, would have been had we reached a bipartisan compromise. Unfortunately, as is too frequently the case, we have seen where we have gone to, in my perspective, an ultra-partisan resolution to try to pass this bill and presumably pick up a number of the 62. You'll need a substantial number of the 62, because I think we don't believe, as you can tell, that this is a process that we can support. But it is unfortunate because the gentleman is correct, and I respect the gentleman's observation. It's important that we pass the Farm Bill. But for over half a century, we have passed a Farm Bill in a bipartisan fashion with consideration for the nutrition people in our country, to make sure that those who were without food and were hungry
reclaiming my time
would have food. If I could,
reclaiming my time.